Hi guys, my name is Amelia. Welcome back to our channel. Today, I'm gonna talk to you guys about some updates here on the farm. We have some chicks that we got a few weeks ago and then pigs that we got a few weeks ago also. So I'm gonna give you an update on how those are doing, losses that we've had, things that we've learned, and why we're raising these kind of animals. So let's jump right into it. Right here in our garage, we have some chicks. We've had plenty of chickens over the last 4 or 5 years. The majority of our chickens have been killed by a predator. If you guys have followed us on Instagram or on here, you'll know that we have really struggled. Like, we were able to keep most of the chicks alive. We do like to free range our chickens, and what happens is a predator always seems to come and take our whole flock. The most recent occurrence happened this summer. We lost about 100 hens within like not even a week. So we had the most beautiful egg layers. We had the greens, the dark browns, the maroons, everything. And we were getting so many eggs, as you can see, and they all just got eaten. So we decided to kind of go back to the basics this time. We just got the normal egg layers. They're just going to be laying, the normal brown eggs, and we're just going to try and keep them safe. So these chicks are about a week and a half old. We've always had an issue with our post office. They love to leave our chicks out. We've had this happen multiple times. They'll drop them off at our house when it's raining, when it's too cold, and the chicks will die. So I always put a sign on the garage that says, "Do not leave live chicks outside. Please contact me." I put my phone number, or I tell them to take them back to the post office. So that's just a little tidbit in case you live in an area where for some reason the post office just isn't doing what they're supposed to with these chicks. So far, we ordered 25 chicks. We've lost 3 of them. One we knew we were going to lose because right when we got them, it was kind of iffy. Like, you can tell right away which ones aren't strong, and she just was not strong. Another one got stuck in the water, and I dried her off, and then she just didn't make it either. And then I don't know what happened to this third one. Honestly, everyone looked very healthy, and then the next morning she was gone. So that's like average for us, and I don't know if it's something we're doing, but a lot of things that I look up says that you are going to lose a couple chicks just because we do get our chicks from Hoover Hatchery. They've always been great with if something happens to like replace the chicks. So it's just, that's just farm life, you have losses, and unfortunately it's life and it sucks, but it is what it is. So we have these chickens out here. We have them in one of these water troughs. These work really good for us just because it's pretty deep. We have labs, so the dogs can't really get in. We also have a toddler, so he can't really like get into the chicks. He does love to come out and play with them, but he can't really get into them. So let me grab one of these babies. So this is what we have for about a week and a half. They're very noisy. But if you're new to having chicks, some tips that I'll tell you is that make sure your heat lamps are on well before you get your chicks. We usually put them on a day before just to make sure that wherever you're putting them, it's nice and warm. We always put plenty of water and food in here. And to be honest, we both work full time. So for us to have like one of those little feeders or a little water, it just isn't realistic. We would have to be like feeding them and changing it too often, and I don't want them to go any amount of time without food or water. So we do use the big food and water, and we haven't had any problems with it. Like I said, the one did fall in the water, but that was the first time that's ever happened. And then we put down hay just because we have the hay. You can obviously get wood chips or whatever. And then when they're little like this, we can go about 4 or 5 days before we have to clean it out. And then all we'll do is we'll take everything off of here. We'll put the chicks into like a little box or something. We'll go dump this out into, typically I just dump it out into the garden right now because when we till that all up, it'll just kind of go in there. And then we'll replace the hay, make sure everything's clean, and then put the chicks back in. So we do it really quick so that they don't get too cold. We're in Erie right now and it's freezing. I think it's 20 some degrees today and it's snowing. So we want to make sure these chicks stay nice and warm. So that's the update on the chicks. Let's head out to look at the pigs and I'll tell you a little bit about that. All right, finally got them settled down. I got them some food and they were all hyped up. They were trying to eat my camera. They were trying to get into everything. So behind me, I have 2 pigs. They will be going to butcher at the end of May. So I guess the reason that I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about these updates is because we recently got these animals and they're growing so fast. And I just think it's important for people to understand. Look at get away. Would you? Good Lord. Oh gosh. Okay. Wouldn't be a normal day, right? So we got these pigs a few weeks ago. They were already 3 months old and they are actually super friendly. It's just they're getting pretty big and honestly, I'm not out here enough to handle them. So it's kind of a crapshoot when I'm out here. Like, are they going to be nice to me? Are they going to try to eat my feet? Like, I don't know what they're doing. But so we used to have cows and we got away from the cows just because honestly, they take up so much room and all the amount of hay. When it comes to large animals, it's just not my thing. I'm a little afraid of them. I don't like to handle them as much. So we thought pigs might be a better bet. Not that we like pork better than beef, but it's just something that we feel more comfortable handling, especially me. I'm pregnant. I don't really want to have cows like running around, and honestly, our cows kept getting out anyway, so it was like just super frustrating. We wanted to try something new, so we got these pigs, and they have already doubled in size. Like I said, they're going to go to butcher in May, and we really have no idea of what to expect. That's another thing that we kind of experienced with the cows is we took them to butcher and we got all these cuts, and that's like something we should have researched unfortunately we didn't, but we got all these cuts that we didn't even eat, and we ended up selling a lot of them. We ended up giving a lot of them away. These pigs are trying to get out now. So with these pigs, they're growing super fast. Like I said, they've already doubled in size. They are really doing a great job turning up the pasture. That was another thing that we were kind of hoping that they would do, is because we've had horses and cows back there for a while, and we kind of wanted something that would like move around the land a little bit, and they're doing an awesome job with that. So I'm excited that we have these on the farm. We'll probably continue to have pigs just because they're super easy, even though they're being rowdy right now. But they are really easy, and I don't think they're as scary as, like, if a pig gets out, they scream and yelp and they're really loud, but they're not as scary as having a cow out, especially where we live. We live by a golf course, and if those cows were to get out and ruin that golf course, it would not be good. So that's kind of why we moved to pigs, and so far it's been good. Nothing major has happened. They've stayed within the fencing. So I've heard a lot of stories of people who have pigs where they are constantly getting out. Knock on wood. We have not had that issue yet. But I think these two pigs have been handled a lot, so I think we're in a good spot with them. I'll do a follow-up video on when we get them butchered, just so I can explain like what kind of cuts we got, because that's something that we struggled with the cows, was like, what cuts should we get? What is it like? If we get this cut, what does it make? We had no idea. We just went at it blind, and honestly, it was a huge mistake. So with these guys, I have a plan. We want to make sure we're getting the right stuff, and we only have a couple more weeks with them, so they're going to grow even bigger, and I think it's going to be a successful venture for sure. All right, guys, that's all for this week. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next week.